We were campaigning, you know, you would say, oh my goodness, we're getting criticised for doing this and doing that, and you start to let that influence what you do, but then you realise you get criticised whatever you do from some quarter, and what you need to do is make the decisions for the right reason, and do it with the best intentions, and really stick to your guns. Take advice, but ultimately we make our own decisions. But I think probably more than anything I'd say is, you know, if we could turn back the clock and change what happened, obviously we wouldn't have done it. We can't. And what I would say is, you know, people have got to put themselves into your position. Is what would you do if it was your daughter after this? What would you do?
You'd move heaven and earth, and you do everything you possibly could. Everything you possibly could.
That's what we're trying to do,
doing, of course,
as much as possible, and trying to think of just constantly ways where we can improve things or get additional things done.
You're doing this pack that is specifically aimed at people that are going on holiday anywhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be Portugal. It can be absolutely anywhere. And in the pack, there's posters people can put up. There's stickers. There's bookmarks. There's all of this. So again, this is all about you being proactive and you trying to do as much as you can. They can get this on your website, can't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get a hold of that, and you know, hopefully that's going to again just keep everything in the public eye. That's what you want to do, keep our name there.
It comes, a lot of what we've done is taken advice from the National Centre for Missing and Exploited Children in Washington, and it's very much about keeping our image out there. That's really important, Madeleine. So there's an age progression photograph there which we released last year, just other things, car stickers, and it's simple things. Who knows who will end up seeing her? But if you don't have her image out there, then it's less likely.
It's like I say, very, 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 very difficult for both of you. It's been absolutely horrendous. You've stayed at home, haven't you, Kate? You stayed at home looking after the twins. How much do the twins know? How much are they aware of? Because they're 5 now.
They know quite a lot. We've kind of... It's changed a little bit. Initially, for them, they'd say, where's Madeleine? Yeah. Madeleine's lost. And then as they got older and started to ask more questions, then obviously the pictures unfolded a little bit for them. And I mean, basically, I think it was last year, wasn't it? Anne-Marie said to me, you know, has Madeleine run away, Mummy? And she kept asking me in a public place. It was a bit tricky at first, and she said, because it's not nice to run away. And that really upset me, because I thought I didn't want her to think that Madeleine's at fault here. So probably about the 3rd time she asked when we were at home rather than out in the supermarket, we just explained really that somebody had taken Madeleine. But we tried to obviously make them understand it in as gentle a way as possible. You don't want to frighten them, do you? You don't want to make them scared. So it's a little bit like, you know, stealing really. We said, you know, just because you really want something or you really like something, if it belongs to somebody else, you shouldn't take it. So that's how they understand it, so that they know somebody's taken it, and they know it's wrong, you know.
Do you still have I mean, it's 3 years is a long time. You still got her image in your head. Can you still hear her, if you know what I mean? Yeah,
I mean, obviously the image that we have is, you know, the Madeleine that we knew, so Madeleine at 4 years minus 9 days. And I can still hear her voice, and we do obviously have video film of her, and you know, every so many months we sit down and we'll watch that really. And
oh, that must be, and I suppose in some ways comforting in a way, but very, very difficult to do that.
Sean and Emily like watching the stuff of us, and they've watched old videos of us, and they've put it all together now. You know, this sort of temporal sequence of events, and they know about, they went to Portugal, they went to bed, and Madeleine was taken, and just expanding a bit on what Kate says, you know, they know, they believe that, you know, it was a man that took her, and it's a naughty man, and we need to try and find him. So it's part of what they say, that Mummy's working to help find Madeleine.
Said to his little friend in school, she said, Kate, are you a doctor? And Sean just came in and said, Mummy was a doctor, but a job now is to find Madeleine, you know, kind of. He was just straight in there, so that they understand what we're doing and why we're doing it, and they understand that we've got a lot of support. I mean, you know, they'll constantly spot things like a car sticker or a luggage tag or a wristband, and they'll point it out, you know, and say, look, they're helping us too. So,
are you convinced she's still out there somewhere?
Certainly in my heart I feel she's out there, and there's I mean, I know there's nothing to say that she isn't, and so we have to carry on working and thinking like that. I mean, logically, you know, I can't say. I mean, none of us can say for definite other than the people involved. But I know we can't give up because there's no evidence to say she's not. So.
That's what I was going to say to you. Do you think there'll ever be a time when you'll say, enough is enough, we've done all we can, there is no more we can do?
You can't. I mean, if we haven't found Madeleine, if we don't know what's happened, you haven't done enough. I mean, there's obviously more that can be done, and it might just be time. You know, it might just be that, you know, there could be a group of people out there who are sitting with this on their conscience, and every time, you know, Madeleine's mentioned, or every time there's an image again, it's just pricking their conscience. And it might just be, you know, as I say, a question of time till they come forward. Their situation might change, and they may then feel comfortable to come forward. So. Just keep going.
As hard as it is, there are lots of examples, particularly from the States, of children who've been abducted at a younger age and kept for a long time. I think the key thing is you don't know who's taken her and what the motive is, and until we find that person, it's very hard, but you've just got to keep going and keep working away. But more importantly, we need to have a proper review of all the information. That's how we'll move the investigation forward. And at the end of the day, the person that's taken Madeleine is still out there, and they're a potential danger to other children. So, you know, they need to be brought to justice.
I mean, we do this in, you know, in medicine. You know, if there's a case that you don't seem to be getting the diagnosis, somebody will come in and review it. They'll go back to square one. They'll go through all the information, all the data, all the results that you've got, and work through it. And that's where you find out what else needs to be done, and it'll help point you in the right direction. So we feel it's similar.
And it will be your birthday soon. What will you do that day?
I was just explaining to someone before, a birthday is actually a much more difficult day for us than, you know, the 3rd of May. The 3rd of May really is just, it's another day without Madeleine. The 12th is obviously a day when we should be celebrating Madeleine, celebrating with Madeleine. I mean, last year we just had a little tea party, and we had close family and Madeleine's friends round. And I guess we'll probably do something similar. It's a little bit different this year because Sean and Emily are in school, but after school we can have a little tea party or something.
Thank you both for coming in and talking to us. Like everyone else, I just hope for a happy ending one day. But thank you very much indeed. We'll all be thinking of you. Thank you so much.